get up. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you, one and all. Welcome to the start of a brand new week. As a matter of fact, it is Monday the 23rd of February 2026. And I'm Pearson Bowen. As always, I look forward to seeing you. It's good to see you there. And thank you for joining us indeed, especially if you're watching us on our streams on Facebook and YouTube and our website, cbc.bb. To each and every one of you, good morning. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. As always, I encourage you to share the show, share the love, bring others along to engage in what we do Monday to Friday. And most of all, if you're having conversation with yourselves, have conversation with us as well. We love to read your comments. I thank you for doing so. And as also, I want to thank you for sharing your thoughts and your ideas by email. A number of you had already sent and point us in directions you think we ought to go in terms of guests. And so I want to encourage you to continue doing so. So send us an email if you know of something or someone whose story you believe we have to tell. So that email address is morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And to all of you, thank you for doing so. How was your weekend? Did you survive the weekend? Are you looking forward to this week? Are you already actively engaged in what you're doing or need to do for the period of Lent? We are indeed in the period of Lent, where as people of God, we are called upon to just spend a moment to sacrifice self as He sacrificed for us and think about what our journey through the rest of the year and through the rest of our Christian life ought to be. Are you out actively engaged in that yet? What are you doing? Why are you wasting time, so to speak? By the way, yesterday at Hawthorne Memorial Methodist Church, I was happy to be joined by members, just a few, of the early morning wall crawlers. As you do recall, that is a group of very active engagers on Q100.7 FM. We all started 10 years ago when I was on radio doing the morning show, then on Q. And so yesterday morning, they joined me in worship at the Hawthorne Memorial Methodist Church. It was quite a celebration, quite a group. As I got there, I saw the sea of green, because that's the color. Look, there we are standing outside at the end of worship yesterday. That's just some of who turned up indeed. And so I sincerely want to thank Rhonda Hines-Graham and Jan Linsky, who pulled the group together, who keep the group together growing and going as well, for showing up and showing out yesterday. They were really, really good yesterday. Thank you, team. Thank you, early morning wall crawlers. Continue doing well what you do. And thank you for the gifts. And thank you for the presentation to the church. You're a very active social group indeed. So thank you very much for joining me yesterday at Hawthorne Memorial. Wonderful seeing all of the familiar faces, giving hugs to every one of you who showed up as well. Thank you very, very much indeed for coming out. Early morning wall crawlers, I applaud you. I sincerely applaud you. Did you get a chance to go to When Stars Align at the Springer Memorial School? I saw video snippets. I didn't get a chance because it was a very busy weekend, but I saw clips coming out of that activity indeed, and boy, were those school bands on point. I hope you had a really good time while you were there as well. Did you also get a chance to go to Holton Festival? If you didn't, we'll show you a little bit of sneak peek of what you missed, because it was really wonderful. Based on reports, lots of people were there, lots of activity, lots of commercial activity as well. People just had a really good time. What a week it was indeed for the Holton Festival. They're getting ready to mark their 50th anniversary. And as they build up to that, we want you to build up with them as well as it goes. Did you get a chance to do anything else? What did you get your weekend up to? This morning I have a question of the day for you. That question of the day is, what helps young people stay on the right path? What is it that you think helps young people to stay on the right path? Could it be strong family support? Could it be sports or creative outlets? Could it be education and skills training? Could it be mentorship programs or faith? and community groups. What is it you think that help our young people stay on the right path? Feel free to give me a call anytime on 228-5562 or 228-5563. Love to hear from you. Or you can post your comments in our comment section on Facebook and YouTube. So today's question, call me. I haven't heard your voice in so long, and I'd like to hear it again. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What helps young people stay on the right path in your estimation? Is it any of those, either of those, or none of those? And do you have something else to put in its place? What do you think it is to help our young people stay on the right path? Look at your child. Look at whether it be your child, your nephew, your loved one, someone in community. And then from that example, share your point of view of what it takes to help young people stay on the right path. What do you think that is? What do you think that is? And speaking of that again on the weekend, we lay to rest the outstanding educator, outstanding person in the form of Sybil Francis Leacock. She was the principal of the Leacock's private school I attended, and so on Saturday morning she was laid to rest at Mount Pleasant Memorial Gardens in St. Peter. To her, we say thank Auntie Faye. Auntie Faye was there yesterday. Auntie Faye, good morning. She says good morning and happy birthday to Colleen Messiah. Colleen, good morning. Happy birthday to you indeed. She's one of the early morning wall crawlers. Good morning from Janice Jordan to beautiful Barbados. And so beautiful Barbados says to you, Janice Jordan, have yourself a terrific today as well. Maud Oliver. What a good old-fashioned solid name. Maud. Maud Oliver, good morning to you. Maud is saying good morning to everyone. And Maud, from everyone to you, good morning. Sweet Rons, good morning. She's saying good morning to all here, and she's thanking the Reverend Philinese Sutton of the Hawthorne Memorial Methodist Church and the congregation as well for a really wonderful fellowship. Yes, it was Harvest Sunday. And so Reverend Sutton was really, really happy to see all of you there as well. So thanks. Joe Jackman, good morning to you as well. Blessings to you. Magnificent Monday. Folks, get on the phone. What helps young people stay on the right path? What do you think that is? Slender Glenda, also good to see you, to give you that hug. Slender Glenda, have yourself a terrific today and a most magnificent Monday. Back at you. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What do you think it is that helps young people stay on the right path? Good morning. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How do you do?
Hi. I'm okay.
You seem a little uncertain.
No.
Okay. All right. So what's your first name and where are you watching from?
My first name?
Yes.
Daniel.
Daniel. Daniel was a good man in the Bible. Daniel. So Daniel, what parish are you watching from?
St. Thomas.
Okay, Daniel of St. Thomas. What do you think it is that helps young people stay on the right path?
I would say everything that is on the screen seems to play a part in helping young people stay on the right path. But I would say number 3. Education and skills training.
You think that's the one that most helps our young people to stay on the screen, on the right path?
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Well, if young people have a means of earning money, they won't have to go and find some dishonest means.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could train them to make money honestly, I think that would really help young people,
And you think that's
the right path.
And you think that's through learning a skill or other forms of education?
Yes.
And you're adamant on this?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough, Daniel. That's fair. That's a good point of view. Thank you so much for sharing with us, all right?
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, Daniel, have a good day. 228-5562 or 228-5563 are the numbers to call. Yes, your comments may be written in our comment section on Facebook and on YouTube as well, but I'd love to hear your voice and to hear your rationale and to hear your thoughts on this as well, so feel free to give us a call. Coming up today, we'll be connecting with a Barbadian educator out of the United Kingdom who also understands the value of education, who sees this as a path up and through. And so we'll be hearing from her experience as well. She engages with people who sometimes are on the margins where she is. And so I can't wait to hear from her experience in engaging in education in a foreign land. Also today, punching your way through life and perhaps boxing as a sport is another way for you to stay positive and on the right path. We'll meet a man who is a coach of boxing and how that discipline can make a difference. House Doctor says family support. This is Vanessa from the St. Michael. Good morning, Vanessa of St. Michael. I like your name, House Doctor. Thank you so much. Family support is also critical in helping people stay on the right path. Me, it worked. And not that I was on the wrong path, but you had to know who you are, whose you are, with whom you are associated, and the philosophy of your family. So that support really makes a difference indeed. You're quite right. As I promised you, we'll give you some snapshots from the recently held Hold On Festival. It's now complete, and so they're gearing up for planning for the 50th anniversary. In our next chapter, deal with this one. This one I think is going to be quite interesting. I can't wait to talk to the author of the book, The Explicit Art of Walking Away. The Explicit Art of Walking Away. Wow, what a title. I can't wait to see what's in the book after that title indeed. And as it's Reggae Month in Jamaica, we will look at that when we're joined by someone who understands the roots of Jamaica. And we want to hear how in Jamaica they're expressing that appreciation for reggae this month of February. So there's a lot to look forward to this morning. Hope you stay with me right the way through, because we'll take a break here. When we come back, much more.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about solar ray, microbiome, probiotics, and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV 8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One, your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 13 minutes after 6 o'clock this Monday morning. Can't wait to introduce you now to this next guest, who is very multicultural, but she's also quite experienced in education. And the value of education, you would have heard from Daniel a moment ago. He places a lot of emphasis on education, formal and informal education, on helping young people stay on the right path. And so Sonia Clement has the same passion for education, and so she joins me now. She is a head teacher in the United Kingdom. Good morning to you. Good to see you.
Good to see you here too.
Now, there was a story you were telling me before we came live. That carnival is the reason you're here, one. But crop over is the other reason that brought you back to the region to enjoy all of the festivities of the region. Explain to me what it was about crop over last year that made you think I had to continue this journey.
Well, I've always come for crop over season, but never actually played maths. And it was the first time ever at my big old age that I actually experienced it. And it was an amazing experience. The joy on the road, the passion, the beauty, the costumes. It's everything that's really good about the Caribbean all come together in one. So I thought, yeah, well, why not try carnival now? My mum is from Trinidad. Again, never tried carnival, yes. And I wanted to give back to that community. I wanted to experience that joy for myself, and I went all in this year, all in.
Never to be forgotten. And it's a story to tell your students on return. Do you get a chance to talk culture to your students in the United Kingdom? That's
everything that we do. So as a second generation immigrant, I am English. I was born in England. it's really important to connect with our culture and also to connect with different cultures. So London is very multicultural. Unfortunately, there's a real rise in the right-wing politics and an anti-immigration agenda, and it's important for us to help young people understand why immigration is so important and the value that it's brought to the UK. And that's how I do that, yeah.
And as a consequence of that, I'll use the word in quotation marks, confusion brought by the immigration crisis, it displaces people mentally and culturally and emotionally.
Yeah.
And I'm sure centering them back through education as to who you are, your place on this earth, and the value that you bring to the contribution in total means a lot to your students.
Yeah, and it goes back to what you're saying about how do we help young people? How do we make sure that we keep them on that path? And it's all the way through inspiration and aspiration. So it's about helping young people to aspire to be greater, do better, to want to achieve, to want to see the world, to want to connect with other people. I think young people have an innate passion to want to make those connections. It's being able to present them those opportunities. And our trip that we bring young people to Barbados every year, that's a really important way of doing that.
So help me understand then the differences you see between the education system in the United Kingdom and the education system in the Caribbean broadly.
Well, my school specialises in young people who are outside of the mainstream education system. So we work with young people who are may have behavioural difficulties, additional needs, special educational needs, ADHD, autism. That's what we do, and I founded the school to work with young people who don't have those kind of opportunities. So I think we're a little bit more advanced in the UK in terms of identifying and supporting those kind of young people, but there's still a lot that we can learn from the Caribbean in terms of the discipline, the rigour around education, and the vibrancy, the way that, we do a lot of work with St Leonard's Boys School. They're our partner school here in Barbados. And when we work together and we see the passion that their young people have for playing steel pan, when I bring my young people over from London, they work together and they share in that passion.
So we see how the arts can help through that passion to create a discipline that helps that child as it goes. We struggle here in the Caribbean oftentimes, one, in identifying, and then in identifying those deficits, those learning deficits, finding the best solutions for them.
Yeah.
What would you suggest to any member of government watching today, or anyone who is an educator? What would you suggest as ways through that so that they can reach the child who is greatest in need?
Well, in the UK we've developed a tool, an IT tool, that helps to track a young person by using AI to identify some of those key triggers, so that we can put support in at the right time. Timely support is really important as a means of diverting a young person from the wrong path at the right time. So that's really, really important. And then it's some of that personalised attention. So it's having the right tools in the right place with the right person, bringing those role mentors, whether they're from the church or from the school or from the family, and having that support right the way around the child.
It's an ecosystem that requires a bit of honesty, however, because the parent with a child who is seen as having a learning deficit oftentimes does not want to feel the shame of admitting that my child has a need. And so how do you guys in the UK break that down so that that parent is bold enough to say, here's the child, these are the challenges, I needed help?
It's about understanding that each child is unique. So it's not a learning deficit or a disability or a special need. It's actually just a differently abled child, and helping to understand that they may be dyslexic, so their strength might not be in reading or writing, but as your next guest will say, maybe they can connect through sport or through music or through some other means or some other vocation. Everybody has a strength. It's about identifying those strengths.
The parent, it gets past the parent. You have to get past the parent who has to say, my child needs. What kinds of conversations do you have with the parents of the children for whom you have responsibility, so that they don't feel in any way that that is something to be ashamed about?
So we start off by talking about the strengths of their child. So bringing them in and having that conversation about, well, look at this piece of work they've made, or look at this piece of music that they've created, or look at this this sporting achievement that they've undertaken, and then moving on to describing where they may need a little bit of additional support and the benefit of that support. So, for example, a quite straightforward tool that can help them with dyslexia and can help bring about some really measurable achievements just through implementing a very straightforward tool, or a little bit of additional support in the classroom that can make a very dramatic difference. We've got young people who have been who are unable to attend mainstream school because of behavioural difficulties, you know, some quite aggressive or violent behaviour, but in a different setting with a different approach, they can achieve. They can and actually achieve quite, you know, in line with what you'd expect national achievement to be. Yeah.
How would you describe the environment? How large is a classroom, first of all, generally in your school, and what is that approach of which you keep speaking?
So our classroom is maximum about 10 to 12 young people. Our staff are really quite highly trained. We've got what's called an ELSA approach, so an emotional learning, educational psychologist based approach to learning. We have a lot of staff training, and our staff are especially trained in trauma-informed teaching, in autism, in ADHD, in dyslexia. So a very kind of bespoke learning program that we've developed. And also we use technology quite a bit to try and understand and track young people, track their achievements, see what's working, see what we need to deliver more of.
I'll take a break, but when I come back, I want to talk about the successes that you've seen, the changes in the child that you've seen, and how has society responded when they are now moved back into general society. So we'll talk about that journey with you right after this break. Back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 and a half minutes after 6 o'clock. Sonia Clement is a head teacher in the United Kingdom, but she's more than just a head teacher. She's an inspiration to a set of students who we oftentimes find it very difficult to manage. And so she finds through her staff and her form of education ways to change the trajectory for a lot of these young people, to get them back onto what society would consider to be the right path. But what society considers them oftentimes to be the right path is not always quite the right path for them. They're all individuals, and so her method of education attends to the specific needs. And so, Sonia, let's continue talking a little bit about this, because I want to hear from you some of the success stories you've seen, the changes that you've noticed in the child as they go, and how society generally accepts when they're reintegrated.
Well, we've had a pilot. We've had a young person knock on the door and say, oh yeah, I remember coming to this school and I remember I was going down the wrong path. I said, what do you do now? Well, I'm a commercial pilot. and I fly commercial jets. Like, oh, come in and talk to the children. We've also had a great number of young people really interested in things like mentoring, youth work, social work, actually helping other young people because they've seen the value of that work for them. So that's a really, really important part of the work that we do. So a lot of our program is, so as you know, we bring a group over to Barbados every year. And then when we go back, that same group then helps mentor the new group that comes the next year. So they'll come and they'll talk about their experiences, they'll help support the young people. So it's a kind of each one teach one approach. And it also helps empower that young person and understand that these are the skills that they need to work for the workplace. And that's an important aspect of the work we do.
We're watching on our screens here, folks at home, we're watching some of those bridges that we shared with you last year. And so I'm looking forward to how this year's cohort will experience with us as well. They're in the music program generally, but they use their other skills and techniques to get up to the places, they engage with the culture. I remember her so well when we had our conversations, and they're all articulate and capable and able, like everyone else. They engage in cooking, they go to the beach, they get culturally immersed. And it's just reaching the child where the child is, about the thing that they're passionate, and then being able to now grow their education from there. And I think sometimes, and we're seeking to do so in Barbados as well, to look and turn education on its head to meet the child where the child is. But oftentimes that seems costly. Was it difficult for you managing that change in the approach to education?
Well, we built our own software. It is very costly, so we went off and we built our own software to enable us to identify those needs, to pinpoint when we should time those interventions, what interventions have worked, what haven't worked. Those were really important aspects of the work that we did. So, and that's something that we want to bring back to the Caribbean. That's something that we want to bring to the Ministry of Education. It's a very cost-effective tool because we built it ourselves. And to bring back some of those skills as well. I mean, I've been running this for going on 20 odd years now. So I am ready to come back home and to help bring some of those tools, techniques and interventions here to the Caribbean.
How great is the need in the UK? I mean, I know your population, I know that, but by way of percentage, how great is the need for the form of education you provide?
Huge. It's huge. Like we have a waiting list, our school is oversubscribed. We have grown significantly, and special needs as a whole has exploded in the UK. The understanding of it, the interventions needed, and there's a lot of different reasons for it. You know, some people base cell phone use on it, some people will talk about COVID, some people will talk about an increase in anxiety and depression amongst young people. There's lots of different reasons, but the fact is that these are the next generation and they can't be a lost generation. So we need to invest now to make sure that we have those young people there for the future.
Have you had a chance to study the Caribbean experience, so in terms of the need of the Caribbean for a method that you use?
I have done a little bit of research. I'm still learning. I'm always learning. Learning is what I do. So I'm willing to learn with educators here and to help listen to their voices to help build something that would work here. We've done a bit of that work at St Leonard's School. The head teacher's been really, really interested, really supportive in understanding how we can use some of our tools to help better the experience for his pupils. So it's something that we are definitely keen to build.
It's so important because we misunderstand the energy of our young people. We tend to describe the over-energetic child as being disruptive. We tend to describe the child who is quiet and introvert a little bit differently. And so I think it is so important that the system which you employ that tracks the children, so you get beneath the surface to understand what the child is asking for through the behavior, is so very vital indeed that we start to actively look at as a society in total, because we're turning out people for, as you said, the next generation of leaders and shapers and thinkers. And if we're not getting it right at the beginning, then we'll find the result is not one that we're happy with.
And from a very personal point of view, you know, it's an aging population and a fall in birth rate. And we need these young people to be looking after us in our old age and paying for our pension. So we need to make sure that those investments are right now. Every single young person that we miss is a lost opportunity.
That is so well said. Every young person who we missed is a lost opportunity. And that's why it's so important and critical that we are beginning to look at our education reform and put systems in place so that every child has that opportunity to succeed and to be. And there are different forms of do you deal with children who are Downs?
Yeah, yeah.
And what kinds of programs do you have for children who are Downs?
Well, we deal with a wide range of medical needs.
The spectrum is vast, yes.
Yeah. So it's again a personalised approach to that young person and their abilities and their capabilities.
So you study the child and you apply accordingly.
Yeah.
And that's why the classroom sizes are so small.
Yeah.
And that's why, and it's almost bespoke, because in that, the teacher is able now to be able to target each child, even though we're all addressing a particular lesson plan. Each child has a specialized approach that helps them to be able to achieve like every other child.
And it sounds very, very time intensive, but in today's modern age, with tools like AI, you can actually quite quickly adapt your lesson plan using quite tried and tested means of teaching to be able to cater for the very high ability autistic child alongside a lower ability child who has cognitive delay.
It is so important indeed, and you seem to love it. I mean, you've been doing this over 20 years now. You love it, what you do, because you see the potential and the value of raising children up.
And it's not just a child. So when you raise up a child, you raise the entire community, their family. I remember a young person that we brought on a school trip, and he'd never been outside of the UK. He'd never eaten anything different from UK food. He told me that he was not going to try any of this funny foreign stuff. His family had never been out of the UK. His grandparents had never been out of the UK. When he came on that trip, his entire community came with him. He was WhatsApping them all the time. Everything he saw, he shared back home. Now, he travels all the time. His family have been abroad. It's almost like the entire community has now experienced a different culture, and they've now become more open to experiencing new cultures.
That excites me so greatly, you have no idea. And that's what I like to hear, how children are now able to explore different avenues and they bring the community along. We, as an adult community, we have to find ways to be accepting of those children with differences. And those differences oftentimes are valuable differences, but we sometimes don't see that value simply because we're stuck in our own way of thinking. The method which Sonia Clement at her school uses allows us to see how we can all benefit from that difference as well. So it's that shift that we're seeking to do, and I hope that you had a chance as educators and planners to understand better what the value that is brought from the approach of Sonia Clement and her school what difference it can bring to our society as well. So I wish you well, Sonia. I thank you for coming. Thank you for spending time with us today. And I thank you for doing well what you do to uplift the children in the United Kingdom. And I love your excitement for bringing that value to Barbados and the Caribbean as well. So I'm hoping that in my lifetime, hint, hint, we see that happen really, really soon as well. So I thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Sonia Clement, a teacher of children, head teacher for children in a school in the United Kingdom, a school that looks at divergent abilities. And through that divergence, she's found a technique to be able to help them be their best self. And that's all I think all of us expect of our young people as they grow, and the changes that they make and the decisions they make, that they add value to self and to their community as well. And so we're excited about what the future holds through education. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back in a moment.
Thank you, Miss Sonia and Mr. Orlando, for this opportunity to go to Barbados. I loved it.
Thank you, Sonia and Orlando, for this amazing opportunity, and also Richard and Alicia as well.
Hello, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Orlando and Miss Sonia for the trip to Barbados this year. It was very fun. I enjoyed myself very much, and I'd also like to say thank you to Richard and Alicia for helping out on the trip.
I would like to thank Orlando, Sonia and the investors of SV Academy for giving me the musical opportunity to come out here to Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scald presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 24 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock. If you cast your mind back years to around 2002, I think it did just about that, Junior Greenwich was on this show with Carol Roberts, who was hosting at the time, because you said you had just returned. He's with me, by the way. Good morning, Junior.
Yeah, good morning.
You had just returned from the Commonwealth Games. Go ahead. Tell the story.
Yeah, I just returned from the Commonwealth Games. I brought home the only medal from the Commonwealth Games with a broken hand. Yes, it was 186 contingent. The contingent was 186, and it was the only one. That time they had Barry Ford, Andrea Blackett, Leah Martindale, and Obadeli Thompson.
And as the boxer, you came home with the only medal for Barbados.
I was the dark horse, you know. No one know of me at that time, but when I done it, then they know of me. So
your hand was broken because of the match, or your hand was broken after the match?
It was broken in the match. Right? It was broken.
I'm cringing at the mere thought of it.
Yeah.
So that must have been a mighty punch.
Yeah. And my coach asked me, Gary Boyne, he asked me if I want to, if I want to continue. And I told him, yes, because Barbados needed this medal.
Wow.
Right? So I put country first.
So that was your motivation. Put country first, pain secondary, and you just get on with it. And then after the match, cry like a baby.
After the match, yeah, definitely. Because the pain started, as you know, your hand get cold, the blood get cold, so it start to swell.
Pulse, man. I can tell you. But you did it, and you did it for Barbados. And now today, fast forward to today, you're doing it for other young people too.
Of course. It's very needed. Because if you look around, young people now going to jail at 17 years old. And it's sad to see because everybody ain't book smart. They ain't. So we got a lot of angry, not only males, but females too as well, very aggressive. And if they could channel that energy into something positive, you understand? And I saw when it was behind the scenes that you said what will help a child in this world. Put God first. And anything is possible. Because with me, I was very hyperactive at school. I played football, cricket, I ran, but I needed something to challenge me, to challenge my ability, and to, bring success through boxing, through a sport that, I wouldn't get in trouble for, but we get prestige for. And I took up boxing at 12 years old. And my coach mentored me right through, so I got to say kudos to him. Because if not for Gary Boyne, there won't be no Junior Greenwich, right? And we just call him MacGyver because we was in a storeroom for a long time and boxing ain't had a home. But when people saw what he created and the results showed to us, because a storeroom, he had to make things to make it work and compete against the highest level. So I want to bring what he done for me. He's retired now from the Sports Council, and I'm a certified boxing coach over now 15 years. I coach at Belfield Gym for 3 years, and it was good there because I even come against my coach, and my boxer is from scratch, knock out his boxers. So it was amazing. And they were coming good, but then people tends to feed on young people. From the time you starting something good, and people just come to just...
It happens.
Ready then. They want ready then, and that's what they did. Confuse the young people's mind, and then they started to disrespect me.
Right. So thankfully, you are now on your way back to getting that respect, because I recognize you today. I do seriously see you today, and I really commend you on your success so far. And so you're working with other young people like yourself, because you're still quite young, and teaching them the rudiments of boxing so that they channel that energy, that quote-unquote aggression that you see in a very positive way for the prestige that they're seeking. Because oftentimes they're just looking for attention. That's what you think it is.
It's true, because single parents, rich mothers, they got to give hats off to them. They have 2 and 3 jobs. You understand? The children, don't have anyone. I was in Bank Hall, and I was coaching one of my boxers in Bank Hall. And he told me, Coach, try and help these young people here. Because the ages of 11 to 18. And he told me, they ain't got any guidance, so help them. So I went to Bank Hall, and I transformed them, because they didn't even know the Lord's Prayer. So I taught them how to pray and stuff like that. And people commend me, but no one was coming forward to assist, because the gear that I had at that time, it was just a little, but we made it work. And it was coming so well. So when I went back, because I lost my car just went down, and I couldn't get there. So I was starting back. God told me that I got a purpose for you. I was on my bed, and he told me, use boxing as a vehicle to get these young people to know me. And he told me that just show them that I love them and appreciate them. You
just made me so excited.
Right?
So excited, because when you talk God, you're talking with me. And so to be obedient to the call, I really, really admire that, and that you're using what he asked you to do to make that difference. That is so important. You are now required to be obedient, really, really obedient, because as the Bible reminds you, if you do anything to damage any one of these, you know what he above will tell you. And so what's the process that you now use? Do you say, you have a gym, and do you say, come to my place?
What God told me to do is to get a vehicle, which I bring one, SUV, so that I can travel with the boxing gear
around
to people, because a lot of people can't get to gyms, right? So it'd be very convenient to them, and when you're dealing with younger children, the parent want to be there. You understand? So what he told me to do is go into the communities. And I want to go into the gated communities too, and the residential communities, because those students or those children needs help too as well.
Yeah, they do.
You understand? So if anybody, got troubled children, like children that, very aggressive, I'm here to help. And not only that, I want to start a program, because in schools, we have a good program in schools. But then after when you finish school, there's no follow on. Barbados Different Force Sports program taught me a lot, and it was good for us, because we, as young people, you learn discipline in there, and you strive for excellence. And to dismantle the sports program, that was heartbreaking for me, because I did well in there. And to showcase, you don't have places like that anymore.
Yeah.
And what I want to do for Barbados and for myself is to bring out world champions now, because we need to restructure the whole program.
Okay. So you drive into communities.
Yeah.
And what, you set up in my garage or something?
No, I set up in any little space you have. I do a circuit, right? So I will put you to skip for 3 minutes there. Then I bring you on the dumbbells. You're going to shadow box with them to build your arms and build your mind, right? So you're going to shadow box with them for 3 minutes, right? And then now I bring you on the hand pads. You know, and
right,
then
so you punch the pads.
Yeah, so you will do that like a circuit, and then have a punching ball, because you know you can't set up a bag in here.
Correct.
So they have a punching ball, eye coordination and hand coordination. So I give them that because I was a champion. I know how to win, and I want to bring some. Everybody can't be a champion, but they could be #1 contenders.
That's right.
They could be good sparring partners. You could build a career out of it, because boxing is a discipline. And I always teach my boxers to don't go and bully anyone. You understand? This is for you only to use in the ring. You understand? So I want to bring a program here that to follow on. As I told you, Pearson, as I told you, we only stop at school, secondary school. When you're that done, you got to fend for yourself. I want to bring a program in place, so I will want people to get on board, see my vision, and bring a program in place so that the young people can look forward to it.
Yeah.
You know, and give them a sense of belongings.
That's all right.
Because
rather than just be idle, look forward to when my boy Judah drives in and comes with the
exactly, and it comes with a purpose, because what I do is we go in a circle, right? I tell one of my boxers, today you will go in and say your prayers, you know? Say the Lord's Prayer, and you pray for the group, and then when we finish, because my coach taught us that, and my coach is a very religious man. So he taught us that, and he instilled it in these young people, because they need it. And after that too, I tell them, choose one to come in to say the prayers now when we are leaving, right? So right now, they say, Coach, I don't know how to talk to God. It says just talk to God normal, and just adding God in it.
Yes.
Because God loved you and He loved me, and without Him we are nothing.
You're saving the lost souls of young people.
And it's so heartbreaking to see that young people getting involved in drugs and, you know, a lot of things that, you know, if the minds were occupied, you know, they wouldn't even think about that.
Yeah. I mean, you would say to the youngster who's left secondary school and you're in that bridging period, oh, you should be old enough to make your own mind up. That's well and good. But at the same time, there's still
predators. Yeah, and
people who are predators as well. But there's still children struggling in understanding life.
That is true.
And so sometimes they make the wrong decisions.
And what was heartbreaking, right, was when I went back, a spirit just told me, visit Bank Hall, right? And I visited my young boxer there, Warrior Princess, right? That's what I call, I give them names, right? So she told me, Coach, you know that the guys that you're training with me, young guys, 16, 17 too, going to jail for thieving and murder. You said, Coach, you was keeping these from doing bad things. And it broke my heart to see that.
Yeah.
Because when I said, wow. And I said to myself, you see, that's why God was calling me. He told me, listen, this is your time now to shine.
So your boxing coaching is not necessarily to create the next world champion. Yes, you would want each person to be as good as in the sport as they possibly can. But at the same time, you're training the mind, you're reconnecting through your approach through God, back to God. You're helping them to discipline themselves enough to understand that they are part of an ecosystem called a community. You're not operating on your own. And also to realize that, there's another path out. You don't have to fight, you don't have to kill, you don't have to anything. You just find another peaceful path out. And I like that. I like that approach. So for anybody watching who is saying, how can I get Junior Greenwich to come into my space, to come into my community, whether it's a church group or any other kind of social group, so that you use the discipline of boxing as another method of communication?
Yes. Well, you can reach me at 263-3627.
263-3627. 263-3627.
Coach Greenwich.
Coach Greenwich.
And the thing about this is that in the future is for the young people, right? The younger people, excuse me. The younger people, like the youth of today, they are the future of tomorrow. So what we have to do is that we have to show them love and appreciate them.
All right, look at the screen with me. You have these boxing sessions for children.
Yes.
Talk to me about what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so you're looking at is, it depends on the age, right? Age bracket, because
so you can primary and secondary school students.
But that they're the 3 to 6 years old, right? It's 45 minutes because you can't give them a full hour, because they're now developing, and it breaks it down. 7 to 11, even right? 7 to 11 an
hour,
right?
And 12 to 18, you put an hour and a half,
right? Because it's important to parents to know that I know what I'm doing, and this is a family thing there, right? That's right there. That's my girlfriend.
They'll bring it back up to you in a minute. If you can, thank you.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend there. That's me and my sister-in-law.
All right. So we can have also one-on-one sessions with you.
Yes, exactly.
Fun, safe, skills building, boxing sessions for students, improving fitness, discipline, and confidence.
Yes.
It's open to boys and girls at any level, whether you're 3 years old or even up to 18 years old.
Yes, exactly.
And the location is where you decide indeed. So
Yes.
you call those numbers that you see on your screen. Junior's number is 263-3627, or any of the others. Screenshot it, as we say, so that you have it always with you. And get one of those boxing sessions today, tomorrow, soon, and see the difference that it brings to your child's life, and see the difference it brings to your family life as well. So we're looking forward to this exciting moment in time with you, Junior Greenwich.
Yes.
Because you are a champion, we know that you're about a mission and you are about success. And so I want to commend you on this project as well.
Thank
I really
you for
hope that you
having me.
get a lot of people subscribing to this, because children need it.
Yes, it's very vital.
Yeah.
And in this society now, people tends to forget we were kids too.
Yes.
You understand? And this word peer pressure is real.
You're right.
It's very real. And what I'm trying to do for kids too is give them confidence. That confidence in themselves to believe I am a champion.
Yeah.
I can do it. You understand? So I go for quotes like, I am a champion. Train hard, what? Box easy. You understand? Quotes like that.
I get you.
That would give them that confidence that not only in boxing, but through life. Through life and in school education and stuff like that. Because everything now is education, everything. So a lot of us got to realize a lot of children, they develop later in life. And sometimes they're good with their hands. So they got to find that comfort zone. And I thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome.
And just hope again that I can come on the show again when it's successful, and I can bring some young people.
We love
here
success.
as well.
We love success.
Yes.
We admire success, especially in our young people. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. His name is Junior Greenwich. You saw the numbers on your screen. You can look back at this show later on our YouTube or Facebook streams and capture that information for you. But do reach out as soon as possible and see the difference this can all make to your child through the discipline of boxing. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We have 5 minutes to go to the hour of 7 o'clock this Monday morning. Hope you make it a marvelous today and a great week ahead indeed, because the future looks bright. But remember, all you have is today, now. Use your time wisely. And I'm sure a lot of you used your time wisely as well at the weekend. You would have visited the historic Holtown Festival. Lots of fun was had by all, young and old, whether you're a guest of this island or a local. And so if you missed that energy, take a look.
Yeah, yeah. Come back, Carnival. I can't wait until tomorrow. But I don't know what tomorrow will bring, so I'm passing away my sorrows. Come back, Carnival. But I can't wait until tomorrow. But I don't know what tomorrow will bring, so I'm drinking. Bring something, cause everybody chanting. I can always get on for the road again. Well, in the break, get on by my friends. I want you to take something and play it in the air, river in the air, right now we are playing. I can always get on for the road again. Well, in the break, get on by my friends. I want you to take something and play it in the air, river in the air, right now we are playing. If I had one wish, I will wish that I could bring back all the people I miss. Hold a party right now, Larry, kick and reminisce. Cause tomorrow's not promised. When you see me laugh on the boat in a pet, man, show my name on the list. Officer, I beg you don't then leave it. Select another tune, DJ, turn up the set. 10,000 people jumping at the crowd. Them said they're not going home, shout out loud. Come back, Carnival. I can't wait until tomorrow.
So meet me by the bar. Cause I just need one more drink before I touch the road. 2 more shots might take all the load. Right up, it will take the load right up. 3 more steps further down the road. Bartender, I ready to go. My gosh, if I just get one more drink in my cup, can I just get a little sip? Bartender, give me a little bit more. Down the road with a little chip. Bartender, make the liquor get poor. All I need is a little sip. Bartender, give me a little bit more. Down the road with a little chip. And the bartender, make the liquor get poor. She tell me I got the problem, I never saw.
Together we drinking. Together we whining.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's look at the news now. A call for the Barbados Labour Party administration to carefully manage the country's resources, including public funds. That message came from Moravian Reverend Dr. Adrian Smith yesterday, just over a week after the party secured its third consecutive victory at the polls. Delivering a spirited sermon at the Thanksgiving service at Golden Square Freedom Park, Reverend Smith reminded the new administration that its overwhelming mandate carries a clear duty to serve the people of Barbados with responsibility and integrity. Trevor Thorpe reports.
To a packed congregation, the Moravian cleric stressed that while some may bask in the recent achievements, the focus must now shift to what is required for the nation and the people of Barbados. Addressing the congregation, which included Prime Minister Mia Amor-Mortley, her cabinet members and other government officials, he underscored the significant responsibility that comes with the new mandate entrusted to the Barbados Labour Party. In his hard-hitting sermon, Reverend Smith says government ministers and leaders must be prudent with public funds, tax revenues, and the country's human resources.
Yes, there is the praise of the party faithful, but there will be the critique of ministry officials. Resources are not to be used to satisfy personal interests alone. The devil looked to Jesus and he says, "You're hungry?" Anyhow, don't go there. Command these stones to be made bread. He said to him, after 40 days of testing, after 40 days in the wilderness, he asked him, command these stones to be made bread. Friends in Christ, this is where, for the benefit of my ministerial colleagues, I would have paired this reading with a first temptation found in the book of Genesis, where Adam and Eve themselves were tempted. And one of the things that we all must realize, that we are all challenged to use resources, but sometimes we are challenged to use resources in ways that are not right. It is Adam and Eve who are given liberty and freedom, and just a while ago I was reminding the congregation that freedom carries accountability.
Reverend Smith told them the future of Barbados is in their hands, and he urged them to make the best use of the resources for the country and, by extension, its citizens.
You've got to use the resources of this country. Use the resources of government and governance. Use the resources that will be entrusted to you by way of international relations and Caribbean formations of dialogue. I believe it was George Bernard Shaw who said, we are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility of our future. You are serving at a time when it is not just about you or about the now, but you are making the decisions that affect the future.
In a direct message to the new ministers, including Minister of Legal Affairs and Criminal Justice Michael Lashley and Senior Minister Foreign Affairs Minister Chris Sinclair, he urged them not to be dissuaded by naysayers.
When you're called to leadership, not everybody will like you. Not everybody will be for you. Not everyone will have confidence in you. People would do anything to destroy unity. I've come to understand that the heart of men and women are wicked and deceitful above all. I've come to understand as a pastor that the people that smile with you are the people that backstab you. come to understand all too well, Madam Prime Minister, that we've got to stay focused, stay humble, don't laud our titles, don't flex no muscles, but serve the Lord with gladness.
There were several presentations during the 2.5-hour-long religious program at the Golden Square Freedom Park. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
Well, the government is committed to maintaining its stake in the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation to ensure it remains a truly Barbadian entity. That assurance came from the newly appointed Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Gregory Nichols, who also promised that the government will do right by the employees of the public broadcasting company. He made those remarks on the sidelines of that Thanksgiving service at Golden Square Freedom Park.
Right now, I would say CBC is in safe hands, and it will continue to be streamlined and made more ready for fit for purpose. And the restructuring seems to have gone well. There's some issues I have seen crop up in the last couple of weeks in relation to the pensions issue. I have my eyes on that, of course, and I want to make sure that no one is being unfair or taken advantage of. Our government will make sure that we have done right. I mean, this is a government that's taking care of people with the CLICO, and CLICO was a private entity and so forth. So obviously we will take care of all those persons who have worked hard in a statutory board like Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation to make sure that their interests are taken care of.
Chairman of the Alliance of Owners of Public Transport, Roy Raphael, says a trial run of the proposed cashless system for public service vehicles is coming soon. He told CBC News that recent meetings with stakeholders have been positive and explained that the trial will determine whether the system is a viable option for the sector going forward.
Recently, we have had meetings with a number of persons who have expressed interest in providing the cashless for the transport sector. But between now and probably within the next month or two, we should be announcing the person or the company that will be allowing us to do a trial program on the cashless system. Let me admit that it will not be across the board. We will be identifying a few routes, a few vehicles that we will start the pilot program.
Mr. Raphael also revealed that the Alliance has reached out to the Central Bank to explore whether BIMPay could be among the companies participating in the cashless initiative.
Let me also say that recently we have had a meeting with the Central Bank, and this is referred to the BIMPay, and we also are examining what they are saying. So within a couple of weeks, I would say, between now and the next month or so, we will be coming back to the press to launch our first cashless system.
The Barbados Regiment is moving to ensure it remains current, versatile, effective and relevant in a changing security environment. Commanding Officer of the Land Force component of the Barbados Defence Force, Lieutenant Colonel Julia Debreo, gave that assurance yesterday at the regiment's Colour to Church parade and service at St. Matthias Anglican Church. She said the regiment is fully aware of the changing times and what is required to meet them.
The regiment realizes its survivability through a myriad of measures that ensures it remains current, versatile, effective, and relevant, chief among which is the development of its personnel and an expansive role in youth development as we embrace the changing dynamics in this era. Although the regiment has repeatedly demonstrated its capabilities and resilience over the years, I am not one to deny that we continue to face challenges, but our resilience is bound up in the fact that we will not allow our challenges to define the regiment.
People are often judged by their background, but Barbados President says that should never define their future. Lieutenant Colonel, the Most Honourable Jeffrey Bostic, delivered that message to students of the Darrell Jordan Secondary School, telling them that they can achieve anything once they are prepared to put in the work. He spoke at the school as his visits to secondary schools continue. Rachel Agard has that story.
President of Barbados, Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostic says while he was at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School in his official capacity, he was also there as a mere man, one from humble beginnings who wanted to share his journey with the students. He says his journey to the presidency did not start at the top, but encompassed a lot of people, communities, and schools.
I had a lot of help along the way. I had mentors from the community. I went to a primary school, St. Mary's, that gave me a foundation that really catapulted me from there, one direction, upwards.
Lieutenant Colonel Bostic also credits the communities of Emerton, Chapman Lane, Mason Hall Street, and New Orleans and the surrounding areas for molding him into who he is. And he stresses there is a lesson in that.
Doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter which school you attend. It doesn't matter what people tell you that you cannot achieve.
Lieutenant Colonel Bostic urged students to debunk all myths the public have about those who attend Darrell Jordan Secondary.
So you find yourself in a situation where people may say, oh, they don't expect much to come from your school. Ha! Surprise them. I cherish on things that have been said to me when people told me that I could not do something, as long as it was positive, I made sure I give it 100% to prove them wrong. And that is what I'm asking you all here this morning. Prove people wrong.
And he gave students the opportunity to ask him anything, which he readily answered. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
Now to sports. West Indies head coach Darren Sammy has brushed aside the importance of tournament settings at the T20 World Cup, stressing that his squad is concentrating on carrying out their strategy instead of paying attention to how the groups are arranged. Speaking during the pre-match media conference ahead of this morning's Super 8 match against Zimbabwe, Sammy noted that while seeding may assist tournament organizations with scheduling and help supporters plan, they have minimal impact on what ultimately happens once the players step onto the field. We have a game set for 9:30 this morning that will be live on MCTV's channel 308. That's a look at news and sports. More news coming up here on TV8 at 12 noon. Morning Barbados is back right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end, and what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
God will not give you a job. God will not call you to do something and then not give you the capacity to have it, to make it happen. He will give you the resources, he'll give you the people. Not only will he equip you with ideas, but he will equip you with favor, as he did Nehemiah.
Turn on the latest episode of Infinite Possibilities, only on CBC TV8, every Sunday at 1:30 p.m., sponsored by Covenant Life Teaching Center.
Welcome to Nature's Discount, the ultimate health food store. At Nature's Discount, we have thousands of quality products at great prices.
Hi guys, Dottie here with Nature's Discount, and today we are talking about Solar Ray Microbiome Probiotics and why you should be taking them.
And we have well over 3,000 amazing products to help you get healthy.
For your health tips, tune in to CBC TV8 every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday for Nature's Discount, sponsored by Get Healthy Incorporated.
98.1 The One. Your number one party station. With an audience from 18 to 40, we keep you engaged, energized, and entertained. Choose 98.1 FM, The One.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely, and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of care.
We go to Trinidad and Tobago now for the next chapter, written by a man who uses his pen as a purpose, and with a purpose indeed. His name is Joel Frederick. He's the author of the book, The Explicit Art of Walking Away. Good morning to you, Fred Joel.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much for joining us indeed. Now, poetry is what you like to do. Writing is an expression which you've absorbed literally for your whole life. Why have you taken the journey of writing?
Ooh, well, if I could answer that question, it might take the rest of the morning. What happened to me is that as a child, I have been writing. I was basically influenced by my stepfather, who is now deceased, and he planted a seed in me from a very young age. And as I got older, of course, that seed would have blossomed into the man that I am today. But basically, I write because it's a way of expressing my emotions, because men on the whole don't have any avenues to talk about their challenges and their emotions. So I took it upon myself to find my own way to express.
All right, it seems if we were... I think you're back now, Joel. Go ahead. So you've taken writing to be your way of expressing how you feel, because oftentimes men are told not to express, to show their emotion. And that is a societal construct. But you've defied that construct by saying, you don't determine how I feel or how I say how I feel. I'll use my poetry, I'll use my pen, I'll use my paper to tell how I feel. And so over time, that's what you've been doing. How many books have you produced so far?
Well, this will be my 8th publication.
8th. Wow.
Yes.
That's a big one. And so all along the way, you've been telling your feelings. How have people generally responded to reading about themselves through your experience?
The responses have been positive because I'm basically I am a child of human nature. Because most of the times where I write, of course, I also write from my own experiences, but I also write vicariously through other people's experiences, and I take what I could get from them and just expand, So that's what has been happening.
I'm trying so hard to read the words on your shirt. Love should never be a thing that you sacrifice your sanity for.
Yeah.
And why that quote is on your chest today?
Well, it's a way of course, self-promotion as well. As authors, as writers, we have to find unique ways to promote our work. So I decided to print some of my poetry and have them be wearable. So wherever I go, somebody will have something inspirational to read and to relate to.
And for me, that also relates to the title of this book that is called The Explicit Art of Walking Away. And I phrase it like that deliberately. When we hear the word explicit, it titillates the mind. And so talk to me a little bit about, when we turn the pages of this book, the kind of material we'll be engaging with.
Sure. So I never intended to write this book per se. I was going through something personal, and I decided to put pen to paper as of course as a way to express myself. And then one thing led to another, and I said, all right, if it is working for me, most likely it might be able to assist somebody else along their journey. So, life has a funny way of directing our path, even though we are hesitant to do this. So this book is a hybrid version. It has poetic prose, it has poetry, and they also have some self-expressions in terms of essays and so on. So it's a hybrid version. I kind of move away from the normal way where I will have normally write a poetry book. We just have poetry in it as well. But I wanted to try something different, to try to change up my thoughts and try to relate to the reader in a more personal way.
And so the art, I suppose we're talking here in the explicit art of walking away. We're talking about a relationship that has found its way through fracture. It's trying to work this through. And oftentimes people in relationships stay for myriad reasons, and they find it difficult because of those reasons to be able to make that first step through the door out. So in the explicit art of walking away, what are you hoping to teach the consumer of the work?
Well, everybody, I'm basically trying to teach people that everyone has a choice, and no one should be able to judge you on the choices that you make. When I say the explicit art of walking away, it's not only I'm speaking about in terms of relationships between man, woman, or other stuff, but in terms of your job, certain life choices as well. We all we have different reasons for staying, but there are also different reasons for walking away. And there's empowerment in walking away, because sometimes at the end of the day, we all have to choose ourselves sometimes. Sometimes people place us in a category of an option, and we have to put ourselves generally most times as a priority, no matter how much we love someone and we sacrifice for them. Sometimes we have to put ourselves as a priority, even though, especially when it's not being reciprocated. So that is the main catalyst behind this book. It's not really a blueprint, but it just gives somebody an idea to assist them into whatever decision they will eventually make.
And so you've crafted it into an art. I'm using words deliberately because you've used words deliberately all your life. You call it the explicit art of walking away. What is the art? What would you, as the painter of this art, say to me is the place that we should start to begin to develop this blueprint, using that in quotations for just a moment, of being able to manage my process of separation?
Well, it has similar traits to the stages of grief, where sometimes we go through from one emotion to our next emotion. But it all starts with self-awareness, growth, and maturity to a certain extent. Because most of us, of course, we go through life a little naive at times, and then based on our experiences, we tend to gravitate and move and grow from there, you know. So it all starts with self-awareness and maturity, and the ability to ask yourself, why am I really going through this? Enough is enough, and to choose yourself firstly. But it starts with being self-aware.
And self-honest. In that awareness, it brings out a level of honesty and a certain level of vulnerability as well, which a lot of us don't like to face. And so in this, and you're telling of your poetry, and you're using other prose to be able to support what you're doing through poetry as well, you're helping us to weave our mind into a space of being positive and not being afraid, but to see the light and not the darkness at the same time, because the door of exit can also be the door of entry. And so talk to me a little bit about that dichotomy and trying to be able to manage either side of that experience.
Of course, it is difficult because, as I said earlier, sometimes we stay for reasons that has a lot of merit to us. And sometimes we go because the reasons are the same. You know, it has a lot of reason for us as well. Sometimes in staying, we tend to give somebody or that particular situation power over us. But when we choose to walk away, we take back that power. We tell ourselves in a nutshell, this will not define who I am, this will not define my happiness, and I'm taking back my power. And I choose to walk away from a situation that no longer serves me. So that's the exit, and that's the entry, and I believe I have answered your question.
You have indeed so. And so this book is now available, The Explicit Art of Walking Away. Where can we get the copies of it so that we can all read, really, so that we get a greater understanding of what your experience has been and see how it aligns with ours, but most of all, to be able to reset our way of thinking and our view of life? Where can we find a copy?
Sure. So I have it publishing it on the 19th of April, which is incidentally my 53rd birthday. So I plan to publish it on that particular day. I incidentally wrote this book about 3 years ago, and I put it down and focused on other projects. And then I decided, all right, this year, because my plan is to publish a book every year. So I decided to pick up the book once again and to do some fine touches and some editing again. And I said, all right, this is going to be perfect for what I intend to do this year. So the book will be available on April the 19th. I'll be publishing it on, of course, on Amazon.com. So it will be available on that platform.
This is one book you could not walk away from. It just had to be birthed.
No, it definitely had to be. But I said life is so funny. Sometimes you don't want to do something. You don't want to do something, but life and your situation dictates the next step that you have to take.
Indeed so. And you have to be obedient to that, because if you're going to really get the benefits of the explicit art of walking away, you have to be obedient to the moment, to the time, because that is also an essential part of it, you know. So folks, if you want to see the change that you're seeking and desperately yearning for, if you want to find yourself in a place of happiness, because either you're dropping the baggage or you're taking on something that helps you manage the process as well, then The Explicit Art of Walking Away, soon to be published, available in April, will be available to help you manage that process the way through. And so just remember, go online. He has a number of other books. This is the 8th, which is he's preparing to publish indeed. And so 7 other books precede this. But his name is Joel W. Frederick. And his work is available online. His work is available for your consumption and benefit as well. And it's poetry generally, but this one, to be published soon, is a little bit different, but it's also as powerful as and impacting as any others that he's produced already. So to you, Joel W. Frederick, author, and more, happy birthday in advance to you, coming up on the 19th of April. And thank you for joining us this morning to share with us your thoughts so that we get excited for the next publication to come.
Thank you for having me again. Thank you for having me again.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Note the name from Trinidad and Tobago, Joel W. Frederick. A series of books he has available online, soon to be published, The Explicit Art of Walking Away. If you follow him on his socials, you'll know exactly when it is released. But when it is released, it'll be available to you on Amazon. Don't miss every page of the book. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in a moment.
Hey there, it's Mahalia. I want to share something that might be really helpful. If you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, depressed, or lonely and have no one to talk to, call Lifeline Barbados. We all face struggles at times in our lives. You're not alone. There's no need to feel ashamed or embarrassed. It's okay to reach out for support. Lifeline Barbados is completely confidential. No one else will know you called. They're there to offer a caring ear and guidance without judgment. And fellas, I want you to know asking for help is a true sign of strength. It takes real courage to reach out. You can also call Lifeline Barbados if you're worried about loved ones who are struggling and you need advice on how to support them. There's a saying, a problem shared is a problem halved, but not everyone has someone they can confide in. That's why Lifeline Barbados exists, to be there for you or someone you care about during tough times. Save this number. Lifeline Barbados is just a call away. Remember, you can reach out whenever you need to talk.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational,
February is the month of love, and Morning Barbados wants to hear your love story. In 90 seconds or less, send us your short video sharing your love story, how it began, how it started, and why it is so important to you. Selected videos will be featured on Morning Barbados and on TV8 on our social media platforms, and the most votes wins. The month of love is here, ladies and gentlemen, and made very special by South Point Hotel, where breathtaking ocean views meet modern elegance and romance comes naturally. So, love is in the air. Send us your video by email to marketing@cbc.bb. You have until February the 25th to do so, and good luck to all. We can't wait to hear your love story.
Hey parents, my name is Stacia and I'm a mom and a nutritionist. I know mornings can be hectic, especially that marathon before 8 a.m. Just getting those lunches ready for good health and energy throughout the day. No guilt, no judgment here. I know many of us have added those juice boxes and chips into the lunch boxes. All right, time for the face-off. On the left is an unhealthy lunchbox, and on my right is a healthy lunchbox. Let's unpack the contents. On my left, we're gonna find more of that juice drink, which has tons of sugar and hardly any nutrient value. You might even pack that salty snack, or you might pack a lunch that is just white bread, no dietary fibers in there, which is very important for our kids, and that protein that could be a bit salty as well. You might even include that cookie. Now, there's not a problem to have a cookie at times, But the overconsumption of these unhealthy foods are impacting our children in a large way. On my right, you might consider a more healthier lunchbox. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time either. You can pack a fresh fruit, high in potassium, all the nutrients you need to get that child through the day. You might consider a yogurt, rich in calcium as well for those strong bones and healthy teeth. And that lunchbox can also comprise of a healthy sandwich made of whole grain bread, slip in a bit of those veggies, and maybe another fresh fruit just to get them through the evening. And if you dare to consider adding a snack, look for those healthier snacks that are low in salt, low in fat, and certainly have some fiber content. And always, please don't forget, pack that vital nutrient, water. Costs you very little, but is important for growing children. So, which lunchbox would you choose? Let's raise a generation of healthy children for Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
25 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. You know, brand Jamaica is so powerful. It is so strong. Even the colors are powerful. The music is powerful. Their prowess in sports is impactful all over the world. And they're fortunate to have an intangible cultural heritage as designed by UNESCO through reggae. And this February is a month of reggae and love of reggae in Jamaica. We're happy to be joined yet again by Shelly-Ann Weeks. Shelly-Ann, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing? Happy Reggae Month.
Thank you so much, and happy Valentine's Month to you as well. Look at you, your colors. Good to see you again. Let's talk a little bit about Reggae Month in Jamaica, because that is the music that really flows through the bloodstream of all Jamaicans. So talk to me a little bit about how Jamaica celebrates this month.
All right. Well, as the name suggests, there's a lot of reggae. Reggae in the universities. They're talking about reggae on campus, the music, the business, the culture, the way we keep it moving, the way we improve upon it. We are having reggae events, lots of major events going on. Reggae artists are in the island and they're doing big concerts. So Reggae Month is very active, lots of free events. And the beauty about Reggae Month, especially in the last 2 years, is that they have tried to expand it as much as possible and take it outside of Kingston. Because, you know, Kingston is the capital of Jamaica and a lot of activities normally happens in Kingston. But for the last few years, they have been making an effort to ensure that the entire island has various events and activities going on for Reggae Month. So yes, it's as you said, it's a heartbeat of the nation, and the heartbeat spreads right across the world.
And so you're still a young girl. So talk to me about when this reggae designation of February as a Reggae Month started. Do you recall its history and its origin?
Oh Lord, you distracted me a while ago by calling me young, sir. I'm way over 40. But I thank you. I'm so bad. I don't remember exactly when Reggae Month was established, but I will say that quite a bit of effort has been made to ensure that this month is on people's calendar. And we've been doing more in the way of education, in the way of ensuring that new artists, new entries come into the place. It's not just the veterans that are featured in Reggae Month. When you go to a Reggae Month event in Jamaica, you will definitely experience new artists. You'll see new ways of expressing in terms of poetry, in terms of literature and writing and all of these kind of things. So we see the effort in ensuring the longevity of Reggae Month. So I hope to see it continue to grow in the way it has been going.
Every Jamaican child seems to be able to dance to the reggae beat. Every Jamaican child seems to be able to just sing like a reggae artist indeed. So let's talk a little about the efforts in this month of February, Reggae Month, that you would see play out in schools so that the children never forget.
Can I tell you that the school activities happens right throughout the year, but especially in Reggae Month, what we see happening through our Jamaican Cultural Development Corporation, JCDC, they have a range of activities from plays to music events. The different children learn to play musical instruments. The singers are found, the talented students that can do production, that can put on events. Even at the school level, they are encouraged to come up with their own ideas and put on their own concerts. When I was in school, for example, we used to have penny concerts where everybody, whether you have a talent to sing, or if you can dance, or if you can play an instrument, or if you are just the person who sets up the stage and make sure the lighting works and all of that, there is a role for every child to play. So it's something that's very ingrained in us from early. And then what you realize is the people with the actual talent when it comes to the players of instruments and the vocalists and the people who are actually very good at doing the music and the production of it, they get to stand out in these sort of opportunities, because you eventually see them being the ones that automatically plays the music every time there's a concert happening, or they are very active in church as well, because the church bands get down, So there's a whole heap of opportunities for children to participate in reggae music, and specifically in Reggae Month, I have a whole calendar of activities. I can tell you about some of them. They get opportunities to play on a lot of these activities as well.
So tell me about these activities all month long.
Oh, well, of course, Reggae Month kicks off with a church service, because, we are Jamaicans, so everything we do, Jesus is a part of it. So, and then the 3rd of February and the 6th of February are the birthdays of two of the founders and the biggest voices in reggae music. Dennis Brown's birthday is on the 3rd of February, and Bob Marley's birthday is on the 6th of February. So the first two major events starts at the beginning of the month. So there's a tribute to Dennis Brown that's normally very, very big, and also the Bob Marley concert. There's a whole heap of Bob Marley events around his birthday, but the big ones, there's a free concert in the park in Kingston, and as well there's activities up by his house where the Bob Marley Museum is. Just the events that are coming up this week is going to be a lot of activities going on. Kingston Rhythms, it's a event that is happening to celebrate the creativity of the city. You're going to see lots of major sound systems at the waterfront, another free event. There is a symposium that's going on right throughout the month at the University of the West Indies, where different stakeholders in the industry, they come together and they have discussions about the culture, the future of the music, how the music is impacted by the new technology, who are the new stars, what they can do to improve upon it. And it's also open to the public. Some of it is streamed online. There is Ground Nation that is happening at the Jamaica Institute Lecture Theatre, and in that there's a lot of information as it relates to the historical culture of reggae music. So you get to understand the history behind it and the types of music that was contributed to the reggae beat, the mentor, the kumina, all of those kind of things are discussed there. The big event this week is the event that is being held by Protégé. Protégé has a festival called Lost in Time. And for the first time this year, it's going to be 2 days. And let me tell you the lineup, because I am going. Chronix is on the lineup. Protégé, of course. Layla Ike is going to be there. Tanya Stevens is going to be there. Lots of other big names. Whole heap of excitement for this event. Another big event that is happening this week is 100. This event is a location close to where I live up the road called 100, and that they're celebrating their 10th anniversary. And it's a concert that features Agent Sasko, Chris Martin, Gyptian. It's going to be another big event that's happening this week as well. And there is other smaller events. There's free concerts in the park. There's concerts on the beach in the grill. There is Island Music Conference, which is Shaggy's conference that he has had for the last couple of years. And he is going to bring in international artists and music industry elites to talk about the music of reggae music and what opportunities exist, especially for the digital space, the influencers, the other persons who are not actual musicians, but what opportunities exist for them to collaborate with musicians and just make the music bigger. But as you can tell, it's a whole heap of things going on for Reggae Month. And, when you're ready, just come.
Invitation accepted, indeed. Send the ticket back at you.
Open invitation, sir.
And so here we are, because you've created around Reggae Month all of the systems that really roots it into the hearts of the people in the land. I just love the way it's all laid out. But as with everything, there are always other voices that would seem to be in opposition to. So what are those voices saying about how you use in this month of February to focus in this kind of way? Or are you not having those kinds of voices at all?
No, man, there's always opposition and different people, you know, but most of what we hear is that the Reggae Month needs to be more expansive. And as I indicated, efforts are being made to ensure that other parts of the island get to participate in Reggae Month. That, I think, has been the biggest complaint, is the fact that, you know, a lot of the events are focused in Kingston. And so there are events, I'm looking at the calendar now, and there are events that are in Montego Bay, events in Negril. The major events are still being held in Kingston. And of course, a lot of people are upset about that because of the hurricane last year. St. Elizabeth and other places in the west that were gravely damaged because of the hurricane were also going to be hubs where Reggae Month could participate in, because, you know, that part of the island was really getting a lot of increased support as it relates to building out their entertainment infrastructure. And, you know, the hurricane came and damaged that. But I think in the plans to recover and rebuild, that is definitely going to be a part of it, because we want to ensure that entertainment spaces and opportunities for cultural expression is available right throughout the island. So in the rebuild, we're going to ensure that some of those spaces are also created and supported so that we can continue the expansion there. But I think that is the major complaint that I heard. Of course, there are persons who think that there needs to be more focus on you know, honoring the veterans. And, you know, there are other people who say there's not enough new people being introduced into the space. So, you know, we still have some work to do, and there's still some spaces for the improvement. But that is how it happens whenever we're working in culture. There's always ways to get better. And the good thing is that we're working on it.
You're working on it indeed. Oftentimes when there are festivals that are branded countrywide, there's a reason for it. For instance, for us, crop over means it's coming at a time of year when it's relatively a lot slower in terms of tourism, but by hosting the festival there, we see people coming in large numbers. Hosting Reggae Month in February for the government of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica, what benefits do you see being derived from that?
Well, that is a big part of it, because this is the transition from January to February. After the stilly season, Christmas dies down. There's usually a little bit of lull. So Reggae Month helps to bring back some activities before we get into our carnival, because Trini Carnival is February. We normally do carnival later on, March, April. So that space between January and March is normally pretty quiet. So Reggae Month falls right into that space to create activities. And yes, it does bring in a lot of visitors. There are a lot of people coming to that Lost in Time festival that I spoke about, the Shaggy, the conference, the International Music Conference, that also attracts a lot of visitors as well. And that is the reason why, you know, we need to just expand the love so that different places around the island have different activities, so that the visitor who doesn't want to come to Kingston can still participate in Reggae Month, and the visitor who likes to be in somewhere like Portland, for example, can still participate in Reggae Month. So, like I said, there is a lot of work to be done to ensure that more spaces outside of Kingston participate, but it is something that is being fixed as we speak.
Yeah, and it filters down even to those who are into grilling, those who are into craft and so forth, everywhere.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure. There's a lot of well, reggae is a whole movement, it's a whole culture, you know. So it's not just the musicians, the entertainment space is a whole ecosystem. People who are in food participate, craft people, even sanitation and janitary people. So it's a whole ecosystem. So the more efficient we can be, and the more areas we get involved, then the more opportunity will exist for the locals, especially, to participate that live in those particular areas.
Perhaps the biggest exponent of reggae has been Bob Marley. The world knows who he is. In terms of being able to amplify the story of him and his contribution to reggae and its development, even though we do have some other legacy people who are still doing some tremendous work in Jamaica, how has that been accepted by people, period, across Jamaica?
Well, everybody loves Bob Marley. There's no need to convince Jamaicans. They hear Bob Marley, they like. That's not a hard sell. As a matter of fact, because the Reggae Month starts with his celebration is normally the biggest one. What happens, especially his children come to the island and they are present and they participate even in the events that are free, and they're very talented. I mean, I don't know if you ever seen Junior Gong in concert, like it's a religious experience, but there is there is a whole heap of participation, especially with the fraternity, the people who are well known in reggae music. They come and they participate, and a lot of the times they come to the spaces where the concert is free to the public and the public gets to participate. So it's not just a thing where you have to have a lot of money to be a part of this thing. There are things that are available where you can bring your kids, where it's absolutely free and you get world-class, absolutely good quality entertainment, and it's open to the public. And so that part of it, I think, is very, very important, because we don't want especially what Bob Marley stands for, we don't want him to be elite and inaccessible, because he was all about being accessible to the people, and he wants the people to be able to live in community. So whenever we do anything around Bob Marley, it usually has that sort of feel where, you know, it's about getting in touch with people and creating a space that people can have access to it. So that has been consistent. Other big names in reggae music also, Ken Booth is going to get a big honor. There's a Reggae Awards as well, where they get to honor and recognize the stalwarts of the music, the people who have been in the business and really push forward. I love to go out and see Marcia Griffiths, for example. She's one of my favorites, and she's so and she is. I look at her as war history, because she's been doing this since when Bob was around, because you know she was one of the I3s, and she's still very vibrant age, and she's such a legend in the way her presence. So you get to see all of these major artists in the spaces whenever you go to any sort of reggae month activity. So they also invested in the success of the music and the success of this movement, because I know that there are reggae month events happening outside of Jamaica as well. I saw some big festivals happening in Europe and UK and that side of the world, and they bill it under Reggae Month as well. So I think that's another part of it that we have to look at, to get Reggae Month to just expand way outside of Jamaica as well, because reggae music is loved by most.
I'm telling you, and you guys in Jamaica are so powerful at being able to export. Now, if I was to arrive in Jamaica, you are going to build my itinerary for me right now, by the way, Shelley.
Yes.
You are building my itinerary.
Yes.
So I'm in Jamaica.
Okay.
I'll arrive in Jamaica tomorrow, and I'm leaving at the weekend. What are the things that you think I have to do and the places that I have to go?
Well, first of all, I want you to go to Reggae Nights at Harmony Beach, because ain't nothing like reggae music on a beach. That's like two birds, one stone. The vibe is nice. The air is cool. The beach is beaching and the music is musicking and everybody's having a nice time. So I'll send you to do that. And then you can jump on the Knutsford Express and come back to Kingston, and you can go to the Tuesday service. Tuesday service is this event where there's a whole heap of young musicians just playing live music with real instruments, singing with their real voice. And that is important in the age of AI, where you can just give AI a prompt and make AI make some things, you know. The fact that we have real young people playing actual instruments and they have good vocals, and it's something that you can experience in a real person-to-person experience. So I'll definitely recommend that. Then I will send you to Dance All Week Business of Entertainment Expo. Now, I know we've been talking about reggae music, but dancehall and reggae are inextricably linked.
You're right.
And so there is representation of dancehall in this month. And so there is a dancehall business of entertainment expo. And that expo, as the name suggests, you can get to find out about the business of dancehall and what's going on in the space. And there is a dancehall week too. So if you want to get your dancehall on, you can put on your short shorts. Well, maybe you know your short shorts. Put on your mesh marina and your Clarks and come out and have a nice time at dancehall week, because that is going to also be a vibe. And then you get to go to Reggae Gold on Friday. That is featuring Marcia Griffiths and the Reggae Symphony. Now, you want to see Marcia Griffiths with a symphony, with some strings behind her. You want to be present for that. She is amazing in any setting, but this is going to be special. And of course, Saturday, I would recommend that you go to Lost in Time Festival because Chronix is going to be on stage and he's going to sing for more than 10 minutes because he's been doing that little quick pass to 10 minutes. And so you can get to really take him in. And I am looking forward to that, especially because it has been quite a few years since we've seen Chronix do a full set on stage in Jamaica. So that is set to be good. And after that, I'll just make you rest because you're going to be tired.
Yes, indeed. I'm just thinking to myself how exhausted I will be. And you know, you didn't build in food at all in all of this. So somewhere along the way, will you please ensure that I'm fed?
Sir, listen.
Yes.
You cannot go anywhere and not be fed. Just generally speaking. At the entrance of every event, you can get some jerk chicken, you can get some soup, you can get some jerk pork, you can get some, in some cases, you can get some fried fish. In some cases, you can get some ackee and saltfish and callaloo. Those are the spaces I like because I don't eat chicken and those things. But there are lots of food everywhere you go. That is one thing. Jamaicans will feed you.
Wow. I'm pleased. I'm full. Thank you, Shelly-Ann, for joining. You've got all of us now excited to get on the plane as soon as possible to come capture the rest of what Reggae Month has to offer in Jamaica. Indeed, what a land of beauty. And so I thank you so very much for joining us this morning, for exciting us about the festival and Jamaica in general. Thanks very much, Shelly-Ann. Always good to see you.
Yeah, man, thank you for having me. And of course, you have an open invitation. Anytime you're ready, you can come.
I'm holding you to that. I really am. Thank you very much. All right, take care. Shelly-Ann Weeks, one of our media personalities from Jamaica, who's just been really, really good to us and sharing with us the vibe on the ground there. Shall we take the break? We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from the president.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Week after week, Scold presents exciting reports and documentaries on the most varied topics of our time. Spectacular developments and innovations, lifestyle and trends of tomorrow, mobility and tourism, health news, highlights from art and culture. Each contribution grabs the viewer with extraordinary images and stories and takes him into fascinating worlds which he experiences here exclusively and up close. We're there when companies and specialists develop super satellites for a global network in space and can look behind the scenes. Scold is a window to everything that is there or is yet to come. Fly with us through time to better understand today and tomorrow. You've always wanted that. Scold, a look into the future.
Our world today is not the world God wants it to be. One of the reasons which will surprise many is that our planet, its governments, and its peoples are all living under the weight of Satan's rule. From the beginning of mankind's existence to today, human history is the written record of what it means to live under the rule of the devil. Yet that rule is coming to an end. And what a difference that will make.
Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on CBC TV 8, tune in for Tomorrow's World, sponsored by the Living Church of God.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So let us start by acknowledging that gun crime and violence is the outward expression of the frustrations emanating from deeply rooted problems that have not been adequately addressed for decades. We must give our fullest attention to getting to the root of the problem. We all know that cutting off the branches of the tree will be a temporary fix until the branches spring again. We must engage our children from the primary school level and throughout secondary school. Now is the time for every citizen and every resident of Barbados to stand in the gap for our youth.
And that's the call we've heard before, the call we will continue to hear from the President, His Excellency Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostic, the President of Barbados, as he delivered his speech to set the tone for this term in the opening of Parliament, which happened last Friday. And so we remind you a question for today. Remember, this could be a conversation piece within your spaces wherever you are. What helps young people to stay on the right path? Is it strong family support, sports and creative outlets, education and skills training, mentorship programs, faith and community groups, or anything else? What do you think it is that helps young people stay on the right path? Think about it. Engage in conversation about it as well. Well, that's our time for today. My little crew joins me saying to all of you, have a marvelous Monday. Be the will of the Lord. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.